When I woke up at 45 or so and realized that I hated my life, and more importantly, I hated myself, I was ashamed of myself and I was ashamed of the life that I'd made, I had two choices: give up and die a failure, or get up and fight myself, my demons, my past, my fate, to gain the strength to be worthy of my pain, and be worthy of my losses, and be worthy of my parents' pain, and be worthy of my kids' pain, and my ancestors' pain, and to be, and by so doing, to be worthy of more responsibility so that I could make it right. And I just decided that I would rather fight to make it right than accept failure. And honestly, that saved my life, because I wanted to die quietly and with no fuss or no bother. I just wanted to die. And I just got angry. And the fog of despair and depression lifted, and I became resolute, and I became a warrior, and that saved my life. And if I could give you one thing, it would be the will to fight your despair and to fight your depression and your sadness and your grief and your malaise and your nihilistic attitude and your resignation. And instead I would give you resolution and readiness, and I would tell you that being dauntless feels 1,000 times better than being down and being victimized. And to be worthy of your pain is a much better way to live, because everything that comes at me, I just translate it into fuel. When something kicks me in the head, I go, okay, somebody somewhere has been kicked in the head like this, and I'm going to prove that you can use a kick to the head to become a better person, to become kinder, to become more generous, to become more expansive and more effective, or whatever it is that you deem worthy. I'm not going to let this beat me, because if I'm beaten, then I'm just part of the problem, and I don't want to be part of the problem. And I don't want to leave the world the way that it is for my kids and their kids, if they even have kids, because the world is so screwed up that we might not make it to another generation. We might blow ourselves up or run out of resources or God knows what. But this is the thing. It doesn't have to be like that. And I know that because I was able to go from complete and total nihilism, just total asshattery, to resolve and grit through grace, admittedly, through grace. And the thing about grace is that it's available to all of us. We don't need a license or special dispensation or permission from anybody. You just stop doing things that you know weaken you and weaken the world. Stop making messes, and metaphorically and literally, and stop acting like nothing matters. Start acting like everything matters, and everything will start to matter, and you will start to matter. And then that's all you need. That's literally all you need. And You don't need labels. You don't need diagnoses. You don't need apologies. You just need grace, and you need grit. And you need a place to take a walk. Get your body moving. A broom. Go sweep your street. Before you know it, you'll notice that your chin is aimed towards the sun. You know, that you feel good. That you feel good about yourself. And you can do anything. I promise you that being a victim will get you nowhere. You'll get what people will give you only when they have to, and then you will be even further down than you were before because you'll hate yourself, and you will have burned up all the political capital and a bunch of time and your youth and whatever else. So whatever movement you're a part of right now, it will fall apart because they always do. The only movement that is worth investing in is the human movement, and the human movement, when propelled by the will and the spirit of the human, is capable of anything. That's what we seem to have forgotten. We are capable of doing anything that we set our minds to, individually and collectively. We need to get our heads straight. We need to get our heads out of our own asses. We need to focus on what's important. And we need to do it together. We need to look at each other. We need to talk to each other and learn from each other and support each other. Hello. And we need to forgive each other because none of us knows what the hell we're doing. And we've all hurt somebody, and we've all been hurt. Yeah, so what? You know, so what? And I know that sounds like an asshole thing to say, but come on. We're not getting anywhere by focusing on our grievances. We're just not. We're destroying the world, and we don't have anything better to replace it with. None of us is smart enough or wise enough or, gracious enough to be responsible for rebuilding the world. And those in supposed authority who are allowing these things to take place they're just children in large bodies, and that's why they're just saying okay. Actual adults wouldn't allow this to go on. So I call bullshit on all of it. It doesn't represent me. This so-called government doesn't represent me. We have a lot of power, but that's only because we give it to them. And I say that if we get our shit together and we come together, we can decide what is right, and we can decide what is wrong, and we can refuse to support what is wrong and what is harmful, and we can insist upon what is right. And the human spirit will not lead you wrong. All the rest of this bullshit, though, you got me fucked up.